Wow. I mean, this is very honest.
It was hard times, actually, and that's when I met Rita, my wife.
Yeah.
And I met her, and I couldn't take her out. I had no money. I was skinting up the blacklist, and the house, my little cottage had gone and all that. And she said, "Are you going to take me home?" And I went, "I can't." She said, "Listen, you're either married or what?" I said, I swear I'm not married. And she said, "You either take me to where you live or that call it a day." And I went, "Well, look, you're in for the shock." And I took her back to the Red Triangle Boxing Club where I had one room upstairs, and that was it. And she went, "Oh, we can't have this." And that was... She's the best thing that ever happened to me because she just turned my life right around.
You alluded to a couple of things there in that answer, and because you trained as a plasterer.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you got blacklisted, and that was after a period in prison.
Yeah.
And you still maintain your innocence.
It's going on now. The case is going on now.
Even
it's
now?
40,
really?
Nearly 44 years old, and they won't release the papers. They have released the papers on Lord Boothby and his association with Reggie Cray and Harold Macmillan's wife. The following week, they released the papers about Burgess McLean and Anthony Blunt, the spies. They released them, and they were asked the following week to release ours, and he said, "No, we can't. It's in the interest of national security." So I just find that very, very sad.
So explain the circumstances of your arrest and imprisonment.
Well, first of all, we went on strike, the one and only ever official building strike. That's all, the first one, the one and only. And I was in charge of the Wrexham area. We went on strike, we had 60 or 70 policemen with us the whole day. No one was arrested, no one had their name and address taken, and no one was cautioned. After 15 weeks, they came to me and they went, "Look, we've looked into your background. You've never been in trouble. We want you to be a prosecution witness." I said, "I was in charge. I was in charge of this area. The Wrexham lads, the Welsh lads, nominated me and I'd done the... They said, "Well, we'll have to prosecute you." So from no charges on the actual day, they then produced 271. 27 against Des Warren and 21 against me. Now, Des Warren is no longer with us because he died from chemically induced Parkinson's, and they won't release his medical records.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say that when you went into prison, you were in prison for 2 years, but... And life has a funny way of doing these things. It was while you were in prison that one of the prison governors gave you a book, and it changed your life.
Well, I was a right-winger. I was a right-winger. I was like, you know, I'd been a member of the DNF for a while. I wasn't doing nothing. And then when he gave me this book called The Ragged Trouser Philanthropist...
And what was it about that book?
Well, it was me. It's me. It's all about the building game and the conditions on the building game and why people fall out and blame everything on immigration or on so-and-so and so. And it just changed my life. But that governor actually said to me, and he wasn't the first person who said it to me, he said, you shouldn't be in here, you're a political prisoner. Now, that had been said previously by a Roman Catholic priest, although I'm not a Roman Catholic. He came in to see me in one of the cells, because I was in 14 prisons and Desi was in 17. He used to come into our cells at midnight and say, "Put your stuff in your bag, in your pillowcase, and take us around the country without telling our families where we were." They gave us a bad time, but they gave Desi a worse time from the medication that they give him. And we fought for 40-odd years. We've had a wonderful researcher called Eileen Turnbull. She's found everything out, letters from Ted Heath, from the Attorney General, the Home Secretary. And what they did know while we were still in prison is the sentences were illegal. A man called Lawrence Lusgarden, who's still alive, who's a professor of law at Oxford, said the sentences are ridiculous. They should have only got 3 months. And they knew. We've got the documents which say they knew, but they said leave them there. Their defence team have missed it.
Oh, that's terrible.
That must have been... Because you say that a builder would die every day.
Every single day.
The conditions were appalling.
No toilets, no hand basins, nothing to wash yourself. If it rained, you got soaked or you went home and lost your pay. If you wanted to go to the toilet, you had to find the nearest village and maybe ask the pub landlord if you could go to the toilet, or find a bush and go behind the bush. That's not... I mean, we're only talking about 1970.
I know, it's not that long ago,
It's not that long ago.
So it's funny, because people complain a lot about health and safety. Oh, it's health and safety gone mad. But for you guys, that was desperately what you needed. You needed protection for your safety, protection for your hygiene and well-being.
Absolutely. But there was very... I mean, we've got photographs of the actual conditions on that site, which I show. I do little talks around the universities and stuff like that. And people say, they're mocked. You've made them up. I say, they're the actual things.
Really?
It was absolutely appalling.